Hi, welcome to my channel, Just Being Jewel, where I, Jewel, just being me, talk about all the things that interest me, especially books. So new week, new reading vlog. This week we have a lot of fun things coming up for me. I'm getting a haircut. My hair is wet right now because I just worked out and took a shower. But I'm potentially getting probably like 6 to 8 inches cut off, maybe like up to here, and potentially shaving the side of my head, which I've never done before in my life. So I'm really excited. I feel like it'll be very like punk rock. I think I'll feel pretty badass when I do it. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. This Saturday we have a book club for this book, The Once and Future Witches, and that's in St. Pete. And while I'm in St. Pete, they're doing Pride Parade that day, so I'm gonna stay for Pride because I am bisexual. So what have I been reading this week? I've been reading the same things that I was reading last week. It's actually kind of funny because I'm reading like 4 different books, and all of them, I'm like progressing in all of them at like the same pace. So I'm like a third of the way through most of them. So I'm continuing my journey with Mem Knocked the Devil by Anne Rice. We are, like I said, about a third of the way through at this point. The devil has now made a proposition for our friend Lestat, so he's gonna have to make a decision. He's still following around the daughter of that crime lord, Dora. I am also still reading Stars Above, which is the Lunar Chronicles, a short story collection. I think I actually only read one story last night. So it's actually kind of cool that I am reading this while listening to the audiobooks. I've already read the audiobooks. I read the books and now I'm re-listening to them as audiobooks. So it's kind of cool to be listening to them while reading this physical book, because as I'm listening to them, I'm like the story I read last night was a backstory for the character Wolf. So it's kind of nice to kind of have that, reading these extra stories that contribute to listening to the overall actual overarching plot story. I'm probably about halfway through that audiobook. I'll probably finish it this week, and I'll probably start the next one, Cress. But we'll see. And I'm also still reading How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell. And this book is still blowing my mind. I will say it's tapered off a little bit in my interest. Like at the very beginning, I have all these tabs where I tabbed all these pages as I thought so many of the quotes are beautiful. In the last 50 pages, I have a lot that I've read. There are a lot less tabs. So I think the author sometimes, in trying to make her point about certain things, meanders a bit, and she takes a while to get there, and sometimes the sentence structure is so full of vocabulary that makes me have to really pay attention and understand what's happening, which maybe that makes me dumb. Maybe I'm not cultured enough. I don't have the vocabulary to keep up with this. Like, I understand what she's saying, but she just continues to proliferate sentences with like these not frequently used words, like words you wouldn't use in normal conversation, and so I have to take a while to take it in. But I have moments. There are moments where I'm like, oh, I'm having a hard time focusing on this, and then other moments where I'm super gripped. So I think I'm actually going to finish this probably this week, since I've been reading it for, I started it last week, and I started it towards the end of last week, and I'm already like halfway through. So, because this last bit of it is all just acknowledgments and citations, so I really only have this much left. So I think I'll get there. I also have not read a ton yet this week because me and my partner have been watching Stranger Things. So not bookish content, but content nonetheless. I am on episode 4, I think, 4 or 5, and I am a D&D fan. I play D&D in my free time, and I know I'm not saying I know everything about Vecna, but I know a fair amount of lore about Vecna, on top of the Critical Role lore as well. And a lot of the Vecna content in Stranger Things doesn't line up with what I know about Vecna, so I guess I'm interested, and I like Stranger Things is going great, but I'm having a little bit of a hard time like reconciling with the content I know versus the content and Stranger Things take on it. So I think I'm probably gonna, if not finish Stranger Things season 4 this week, it'll be next week. And obviously Kenobi comes out. The last episode of this season of Kenobi comes out this week, so I'm sure I'll end up talking about that. But that's the update for now, and I'll catch you later. Days, so I wanted to give another update on what I've been reading and what I've been doing book-wise. So first off, not book related, I cut my hair. I got the side of my head shaved off, and it feels really badass and really punk rock. So that happened. But also, this morning I went to book club at Tumbalow's Books in St. Pete. We were talking about The Once and Future Witches by Alexia Harrow. Yeah, so this book right here. And I had a lot of fun at book club. It was only an hour long, and there were actually a lot of people there. But we kind of just went around in a circle, and we're just like, hey, let's start just by talking about some initial thoughts and feelings about the book. So there were probably like a little over 20 people in this book club, and the first like 5 or 6 people that went before me were talking about how much they loved the book, and they had nothing negative to say, and they were all super gung-ho about it, especially in light of the Roe versus Wade news, which I'm not even going to talk about that because I'm really distraught, and I'm going to leave it at that. But when it got to my turn, and this is like the first time I've ever gone to a book club ever, I was nervous, but I said my true feelings and opinions, and I was like, well, I liked the book, but not like you guys did. Like, you all loved it, and I just kind of liked it, and there were some things that I had problems with, and I started voicing my thoughts and my opinions, which there'll be a whole wrap-up video for all the books I read in June. Sorry, not June. June. I'll go more in depth about the issues that I had with this book then. But after I spoke, everyone else started voicing the things that they also like. Yes, they also talked about things that they liked, but they also started voicing the things that they had issues with and things that they didn't enjoy about the book. But I was like the first person to speak up about it before anybody else did. So I felt like I kind of paved the way for other people to also have dissenting opinions, which I was proud of myself. One thing about book club that made me feel a little intimidated is some of these people came with like notebooks, and like their pages of their book were like all tabbed and like marked up and everything, and I am not the kind of person that regularly like tabs or marks up, or like, I mean, I do like fold down the edges of pages that I like I do here, but I don't like take notes. And I think I might try that for the next book club. So the next book that we are reading in our book club, our fantasy book club, is The Dawnhounds by Sasha Stronach. Apologies if I said that wrong. And I believe I mentioned this in another video. If I didn't, I'm going to read it right now. But the summary for this is, the port city of Hynak is alive. Its buildings, its fashion, even its weapons. After a devastating war and a biotech revolution, all its inhabitants want is peace. No one more so than Constable Jin Yat Hok. Recently demoted on the force due to lifestyle choices, after being caught at a gay club, Yat is barely holding it together, haunted by memories of a lover who vanished and voices that float in and out of her head like radio signals. When she stumbles across a dead body on a night patrol, 2 fellow officers gruesomely murder her and dump her into the harbor. Unfortunately for them, she wakes up. Resurrected by an ancient power, she finds herself with the ability to manipulate life force, quickly falling in with the pirate crew who has found her. She must race against time to stop a plague from being unleashed by an evil that has taken deep root in Hynek. So I bought at the store these little tabs, and I have a notebook already. So I think I'm gonna try and form cohesive notes to take with me to book club, so I can speak more clearly on my thoughts, which I should probably do honestly when I'm making these videos, but I emotion vomit on you guys. But we're gonna try that. I am also about halfway done with Memnoch the Devil. So, you know, Lestat is currently hearing the devil's point of view and this potential proposition that the devil has for him. And that's what we're going through right now. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. Like I said about the Once and Future Witches, I probably actually enjoyed this more than I'm enjoying this, but I'll just keep taking it day by day, slowly reading it. I think I'm actually gonna start Dune so that I have some sort of fantasy book that I'm super wrapped up in to read while I'm reading this fantasy book. And I'm also reading Stars Above. And I'm also reading How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell. I'm actually over halfway at this point on this one. And it's not hitting me like the first half did. The writing in this, for some reason, started getting more, how do I say it? It started feeling more like I was reading a science journal, like a student presenting a thesis. While I'm still appreciating it, and there's still definitely some quotes that I'm enjoying, it's not hitting as hard as it was at first. So, yeah, I actually only have 60 pages left. So, I think that for the rest of the night tonight, I'm probably going to hang out and read. I went to Pride today, by the way. I went to Pride, and I had fun. I think I got sunburnt, as you can see. A little sunburn. I need to get better at putting on my sunscreen, because I'm from Ohio, and I very rarely got sunburnt in Ohio because it's just not as sunny there as it is here in Florida. So I need to get better at putting my sunscreen on. And I had a lot of fun at Pride. On the way back to our car, you can rent these scooters, these electric scooters, and we were just flying down the road on electric scooters for 2 miles to get back to our car, and it was a lot of fun. And now Sean is playing D&D. I have removed myself from that particular campaign for now, put myself on a hiatus so that I could spend more time doing things that bring me more peace, like reading and talking about books and editing videos. So I think I'm going to spend the rest of the night reading and editing video, potentially. So talk to you more then. Hey, it's Sunday night, so I only have one more update in this weekly vlog because the week is about to end. And that is that I finished Stars Above, the 4.5, or the collection of short stories in the Lunar Chronicles. And it was okay. I have this really bad habit about myself that I recognize, where I have this compulsion to read every novella and anthology or the short story collection related to a series if I liked the series, and I don't enjoy it. So I didn't particularly enjoy this, but there was nothing wrong with it. So like if you're a fan of the Lunar Chronicles and you like those characters and you like seeing some prequel stuff and some during the actual story extra content, there's also the last story in this is like the perfect sort of, I guess, epilogue for the series, then this will be your jam. But for me, I read it really quickly, just so like I spent like the entire day reading like 2/3 of this. Like I was only probably like partway through, and I slammed it today because I just wanted it to be done because I wasn't having the best time ever. So I'm going to start next week fresh. I'm going to start another book next week. So next week's vlog, we'll talk more about that. But if you made it all the way to the end of this vlog, put a little crown in the comments. And thank you for watching, and talk to you guys some more next time. Yeah? What's wrong, buddy?